Hi again and welcome back. Let's talk about the go-getter. There are two kinds of people, those who can and those who cannot. Now, sometimes both these things reside in the same person. It depends on your ambition, on your drive, on the situation you are in. Sometimes you're put in a place in your life where you do what you have to do. I never thought I would teach, I would write, and frankly speaking, I believe you get one chance to prove your worth to yourself and to no one else, because at the end of the day, you have to see yourself in the mirror, and you can fool the whole world, but you cannot fool yourself. And when you have to prove your self-worth to yourself, that for me is one of the toughest jobs that you can ever do. There is a doorman in a restaurant that I frequent, a South Indian restaurant. I love South Indian food. And he opens the door and welcomes each and every guest that enters the restaurant. And he says, Salam Sahab. And while they enter, and then Salam Sahab while he goes out, he actually salutes them. And I had gone to have my food with my friends. He opened the door for me, and I stepped. I've seen him several times, of course, but while we were waiting for the valet to bring our car, I thought, let me just chat him up. And like I keep saying, the people that you most often ignore are the ones who have the stories which can actually give you goosebumps. So I spoke to this gentleman. He was from a state called Bihar in India, and he was working for the last 15 years as a security as a doorman. He would open the door, wish whoever would enter, open the door, wish whoever would leave, and that is it. That was his job profile. And I asked him, where's your family? He said, they're back in the village. I said, did you have land? He said, yes, I did have land, but it wasn't enough to feed my family, so I came out to work. And I've been working, and every month I send money back. So I said, great. Don't you find it boring or monotonous? Or so his glasses, they were very high powered, and he had his first button torn. So I said, shouldn't you change your uniform? He was practically toothless. So he gave me a toothless grin, and he says, the reason why I come to work every day and do the same job every single day for the last 15 years is because I am driven by responsibility. I'm responsible to my family. I'm responsible to ensure that every month they receive money so that the house runs properly, and my children go to school. My wife has food to cook for them. This is not something you and I can do, and this is something worthy of admiration. So for this doorman, he was driven by responsibility. I can drive. I have a driver's license, but I have a problem with traffic. And in a place like Delhi, you see more of tires and vehicles than the road. So one day there was a maddening traffic, and it was awful to watch two-wheelers zigzagging with car honks and vehicles all over the place. And I have a driver who drives me around whenever I go visiting Delhi, and I was watching this gentleman through the rear view, and he was absolutely cool as a cucumber. I looked at the other drivers on either side, and they had frowns, they were sweating. I could make out from their the way their mouths were moving that they weren't blessing the person in front of them. So it went on for about 5-10 minutes, and before we were supposed to reach, I asked him, Bhaiya, don't you find this, doesn't it get to you? Because I'm trying my level best with the honking and the pollution and the way people are talking to each other. Don't you find it awful to live day in and day out? And in the same cool, calm, collected way, he told me, well, it's all a matter of habit. So I said, habit? How is it a matter of habit? He said, habit is what you teach yourself. I have taught myself that while all this is going on outside of me, I think, a happy thought and something that makes me smile, and I keep it to myself. And when I'm stuck in a traffic jam, or when I come across a crazy motorcyclist who just wants to fly over my car, instead of hurling abuses, or instead of cursing him, or cursing the weather, or cursing everything around me, I have this happy thought and I think it, and it makes me feel good. And by doing this on a regular basis, I finally managed to overcome it. The driver was driven by habit. So now you have a doorman and you have a driver, both of them leading absolutely ordinary lives with extraordinary stories and lessons to learn from. Both of them driven by completely different things, but their drives were so strong and so intense that it made them come to work every single day. There's another thing the driver told me, that, for me, happiness is a habit. It doesn't come naturally because of the background that I come from and the life that I have led so far, and the life that I know that I am bound to lead because of my responsibilities. And if you keep yourself happy on a regular basis, if you train yourself, if you teach yourself, if you condition your mind, you can actually attain that particular level of happiness to pull you through the whole day. Lovely day spent and lovely lesson learned from both these gentlemen. So, back to the question. Who do you think is a go-getter? Is it someone who goes after his goals and reaches his zenith, come what may? Or is it someone who reaches his goal before anybody else? What do you think?